Hey, this is your boy Reggie Gant, founder of Serve for Men. Um, Still just talking, right, about some of the things that I've observed. So, for those of you that may not know, uh, currently a husband, father of 5 beautiful children. We have one daughter, 4 sons at home. A ball of energy. Every day in our house is always a fun day. It's always something going on, right? I'm a Baltimore, Maryland native, right? So we call it Baltimore. And my city is beautiful. You know, it's rich in culture. It's rich in history. It's rich in the arts. But what I've observed in my city, you know, as a man, as a father, as a husband, is what I've also observed in other cities, not just across the United States, right? But we're talking about nationally, we're talking about globally. I've noticed that there are men everywhere who are dealing with male pain. And male pain, as we can see on media, is now an issue that's bubbling up to a head. And many men don't understand that they're even in pain. And they don't understand that the pain that they're in, the pain that they're feeling internally, that it's spilling over into the world around them. We're now starting to see an uptick of men, you know, causing harm to their families, to their wives, their women. The men that they swore and vowed to protect, they're now harming. We're now seeing men committing suicide. Men are hurting. Men are bleeding, literally and physically. And male pain is an issue. And I saw that trend a couple of years ago, which made me pen my book, Male Pain, Breaking Your Chains to Achieve Greatness. And I wrote that book because I need men to understand that pain is a part of the process, but it's not the ending. Pain is something that may accompany you on some of your journey, or even all of your journey, but it's not a final destination. Pain is a comma. It's not a period. So in my book, Male Pain, Breaking Your Chains to Achieve Greatness, I wrote that because I need us as men, as fathers, as husbands to understand that God has called us, that we're mandated, that we're obligated, that we have a responsibility to leave this world better off than how we found it. But if I look around my city, Baltimore, for example, I see men that are homeless. I see men that are on drugs. I see men that have mental health challenges. Men that are struggling with addiction of all sorts. And I don't take away from any of these men. But if God is calling us to leave this world better, what I see are men who are not playing their positions properly. Now, I know life happens to each and every one of us. The Bible is very clear that trials and tribulations, they will fall on each and every one of us. But that does not stop the mandate that as men, as fathers, as husbands, we are still called to lead, to protect, to provide, to serve. We are still called to stand up. But all too often, what do we see in our culture today? See a lot of men out of position. See a lot of men that are confused about their identity. We see a lot of men that are passive. And me and my organization, Serve for Men, we call men to reject passivity. And instead, we encourage them, we empower them, we equip them to lead courageously. And you don't have to have all of the answers. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't even have to be perfect in order to lead courageously. You simply just need to make a decision. So this issue of male pain is a very relevant issue that's happening in our society right now. And usually what I've found is that when men open up about their pain, because we are expected, because of the old mantra of manhood that, you had to tough it up, right? No pain, no gain. You fall down, you had to get back up. You couldn't cry. You had to hold in those emotions because that was the way that manhood was taught. Because that's the manhood that's been instilled in many of, my peers. I'm now in my mid 40s. Men that are older than me, men that are my age, men that are slightly younger than me. We've been taught the mantra, no pain, no gain, tough it up, right? Throw some dirt on it. But what that does is that raises up a man who will suffer in silence. And that's what we're seeing in society. We're seeing the effects of so many men that are suffering in silence, and it's coming to a bubble. And when they don't know what to do, they choose anger. They choose violence. And they're choosing to end lives, even if it's their own, at the end of the day. But I can see a world through the work that I'm doing with my organization, Serve for Men, where men are happy, where men are healthy, where men are whole, because I wholeheartedly believe that when men win, families win. And I wholeheartedly believe that when families win, our communities win. And when our communities win, this world is strengthened. And I believe that the man is at the foundation of it all. If you were to go back to the Garden of Eden, Adam was in the garden first. God formed him, blew life into him, and gave him responsibility. And that was before the woman even came along. Man is the foundation of everything. But what we have in our society is that the foundation is cracked. It's broken. And sometimes, in many instances, the foundation is not even there to begin with. You cannot build with a cracked, broken, or missing foundation. It will not last. And as we can see the effects, families are falling apart. Men are hurting. Male pain has so many men in bondage. And many of them don't even know that they're shackled in their own chains. But I can see a way out. In my book, I write about how you can break those chains of bondage and achieve greatness. What does every man want at the end of the day? Fulfillment. He wants to walk in purpose. He wants to be the best version of himself. He wants his family and friends to be proud of who he is and what he does. It's validation. It's purpose. Men ultimately desire to live a purpose-driven life. And through our coaching programs at Serve for Men, we come alongside and we partner with men and fathers and husbands. And we're even taking this down to the young man level, middle school, high school, our young men who are in college. We are partnering with these individuals. And we're coaching and raising them up, because what do we believe in at Serve for Men? Self-leadership, self-mastery, purpose, integrity, character. We're building up the whole man. We're making the whole male. We have safe spaces where we can gather and get the support and accountability and encouragement that we need. But we also teach and train and coach and raise men up, because we need the man to win so that the family has a chance. And I take nothing away from women. Our women, our mothers, our wives have been doing an amazing job. But the man has to be restored back to his rightful position. And through our work at Serve for Men, I can see a world where men are winning again, where men are rising back as the kings, as the priests, as the heads of their homes, as the heads of their communities, as the heads of their places of worship. And they're walking with authority and purpose because they've broken off those chains of bondage. I can see that world. And I'm excited. So if you're a man or a father or a husband, or if you know one, and you do, grab a book for them. Male Pain, Breaking Your Chains to Achieve Bondage. Breaking Your Chains to Achieve Greatness. Reach out to us. Inquire about our coaching programs where we can come alongside individuals or organizations. Coach and train men up to be who they have been called to be. So I'm excited. I'm excited to the man that's listening. I'm excited to the man. You feel this in your spirit. Your spirit is resonating. You know that you have been flying under the radar and that God has more in store for you. I'm excited to speak to you. My organization is excited to work with you. I'm excited to have you read our books. I'm excited to hear that you're going to start a book club and you're going to lift each other up because there is more in store. I'll catch you soon.